أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. It's your boy Atai. It's my first episode of Sidewalk and Gutter University. And Swag University is all about, it stands for Sidewalk and Gutter University, and it represents graduating the streets through knowledge of self. Now, I've waited so long to record, to just start this YouTube channel and putting out content because I'm such a perfectionist, and I had so many different angles that I wanted to come from. I contemplated starting from the Big Bang Theory and going through like chronologically up until where we are now, and stopping at critical important points. I contemplated, tackling like current events. I just didn't know how to start. So last night before I went to bed, I got a video on my feed of KRS-One, and KRS-One, he's one of my favorite rappers. He has this exercise that he does, and it's an exercise in discovering the knowledge of yourself. The greatest knowledge that anybody can ever have, the greatest knowledge that any human being can have, is knowledge of their selves, because yourself, your soul, your mind, your imagination, your consciousness is infinite. So what he does is, and that's why it took me so long, is because there's so many different angles, there's so many ways to come at it. It encompasses, it's related to everything and is limited to nothing. So it's like, how could you start? I just got to start. This is my first, so this is my first video. All bloopers, everything, I'm keeping it, I'm putting it up just because I got to start, right? So, but what he does is he says, close your eyes, right? And on a count of three, everybody close your eyes. Your eyes are closed, right? On a count of three, you're going to say hip hop. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, we all just said hip hop in our minds, right? In our hearts and minds. So then he says, we're gonna do the same thing. Close your eyes. On the count of 3, we're gonna say knowledge of self. 1, 2, 3. Knowledge of self, or know thyself, right? So, and then he highlights how internally you just said something, but you didn't use your physical body. You just said something. You actually expressed the idea in your mind. You said something. You heard it. You even saw it, right? Now, the question is, how is this possible if we subscribe to the modern Western point of view that all that exists is what you can see, taste, touch, hear, and feel, like your 5 senses, right? Like physical. I mean, if you can't experiment it, if you can't determine it through the scientific method, through like the physical means, empirical methodology, then it don't exist, right? But this exercise proves otherwise, right? So 3 attributes that from this exercise we know that we have is, we have the ability to speak, we have the ability to hear, and if you meditate long enough, you close your eyes, you meditate long enough, you realize you have the ability to see internally as well. So so here's the thing, we did all of this, right, without our physical body. So KRS-One, what he said is that when this body falls away, when we die, and our soul is separated from our body, this soul that can speak, that can hear, that can project, that got vibrations, that can see, it will continue doing that, because that's what it is, because it doesn't need the body. It's inside the body, but it doesn't need the body, right, to exist. So Interesting point. So here's the thing. We all know, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with the biblical or the Quranic, the story of when God blew His Spirit into the human being, right? Now, what that represents is like God giving us a piece. You can't divide God, like, technically, but it's like He's given us His attributes. So when He says we created this in our image, it's like it's His attributes. Like, so certain parts of the creation can manifest and articulate certain qualities and attributes, but the human being can articulate all of them. So basically, so my only thing with KRS is that he doesn't like abandon like traditional like Abrahamic religions, but he kind of does, like in a way, right? He doesn't subscribe to Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, and it's understandable because the history, all every religion, every human beings do bad things, but the quality, the core teachings of those traditions is really can really provide insight, and they have a lot of really deep knowledge and deep insights into who we are as human beings. So the Abrahamic religions, they agree that God has an infinite amount of attributes. Now, and these are called like our names. So He can be like the all-hearing, Al-Basir, or the all-hearing, As-Sami, or our Al-Basir, the all-seeing, or Ar-Rahman, the universally loving, or whatever, right? So, but so He has an infinite amount of names, but He boiled them down into 99, and then He boiled those 99 down into one. But when He blew His Spirit into us, He gave us certain qualities that He has, and so to build on further with what KRS-One said, not only does our the core of who we are, not only can it hear, not only can it see, not only can it speak, but there's 8 more, right? So there's 5 attributes that God has that differentiate Him from His creation, and then He gave us 8 qualities that we can discover just through meditation. The 5 qualities is he has no beginning and He has no end, right? So he's pre-eternal, post-eternal. He's everlasting. He's unique and He's one, right? God is unique and one. He's different from His creation. He's different from His creation. So God doesn't need to sleep. God don't need to eat. He don't need to have a wife to procreate, right? He could just create out of nothing. And He is self-subsisting, meaning that in and of Himself, God, and even though, and then just a quick point, I'm speaking of God as in He, because we use in language, man, and it's like we don't have a better way to refer to the ineffable, the indescribable. We're talking about a entity, a being that's beyond words, and we're trying to talk about Him in words. So just bear with me. But He doesn't mean a man. God is neither a man nor a woman, right? So those are the 5 qualities, right? He has no beginning, no end. He's unique and he's one. He exists in and of Himself. He's self-subsisting. He doesn't need to eat, drink to exist, and He's different from His creation. He's not born. He doesn't have limitations. He doesn't exist in time and space, right? And then He gave us, but when He blew His Spirit into us, He gave us eight qualities, right? Those 8 qualities are life, like we're living. Like, so by doing that meditation, you realize, okay, when you say 1, 2, 3 hip hop in your mind, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, the only way you can do that is if you're alive, right? So he gave us life. He gave us knowledge, because the only way you can do that is if you're a sentient, intelligent being, right? Only way you can speak inside your mind and hear yourself and see the thing that because whenever you say a word, right, that word is related to an image that you can see. You can hear it, you can hear that word, and you can see the image that the word projects. Internally though. So the only way you can do that is if you're an intelligent being. So he gave us, which means we have knowledge. He gave us life, knowledge. He gave us hearing, right? That's obvious. He gave us sight. He gave us forethought, or intention. So you can close your eyes. You can meditate. You can say. You can speak words, and you can speak stuff into existence, into the future, right? And then you can live it to it, and they come true. And that's life, knowledge, hearing, seeing, forethought, or intention, right? He gave us power, right? Because the only way that you can have this internal speech, this internal life, this internal knowledge, there's a certain level of power or ability that's attached to it, right? So it's life, knowledge, hearing, seeing, forethought, power. And then the seventh one is creation, right? Like the ability to create, our creative faculty, right? Because you could actually like meditate, look inside yourself, or project, or speak. You can actually create, see the future. Like you can actually create, right? Us as human beings, we can create. And then the eighth one is speech, because speech is like probably the most, and it's interesting, right? Because speech, the Bible, the Quran, Bhagavad Gita, all of the religious texts, they all say that God spoke the universe into existence. So that's why you might pass by like a mural on a wall and it says speak your, like it's one in Los Angeles, speak your dreams into existence, speak your realities. You can, because words create universes. Through words we activate our creative potential. Now this brings me to another point though, how like, and I understand like the whole thing about like, there's this whole trend about like, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, and like I get it, because the history of religion has been filtered. I mean, not filtered, but the history of religion has been polluted with so many different crimes, man. On every different religion, nobody can even if the people was like nominally like a religion, like affiliated with the religion, it gets attached to the religion. Like, so I get how now people want to like step back from organized religion, and specifically the Abraham religions. But the problem with that is that like when you say I'm spiritual and I'm not religious, then that's like, it's like no commitment in that. Well, one is no commitment. Two, it's like, well, what's your daily practice? What's your daily, every single day? What's your spiritual practice? Where do you get that from? You just make it up on your own? So I'm of the opinion that you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Just because like people in different religions like do bad stuff, it doesn't mean that the actual core teachings of like the teaching, like, so Judaism is associated with Moses, peace be upon him, and Christianity is associated with Jesus, peace be upon him, and Islam is associated with Christianity, just like Buddhism is associated with the Buddha, and Jainism is Mahavira, and Confucianism is with Confucius. But the thing is that you don't, say if a Jew or a Christian or a Muslim or anybody does something bad, you don't throw out the teachings of the founders. And so what I like in college, what you in college I took this this Indian history class, and we studied the life of the Buddha, and in this class I learned that the first generations of like the followers of Buddha, they didn't make any statue. They didn't make any graven images, statues, pictures of the Buddha. The way that they represented the Buddha was with a lotus flower, right? That was the way that they, like his first, like the people who had actually walked and lived with the Buddha and got his teachings firsthand, they did not make pictures of or any images of the Buddha. That came afterwards. So what the point I'm making is that people are flawed and people are fallible, and what people do don't represent the original teachings of like these founders of these great world religions. And when you look at it, the people who have been the most influential in human history, had the most impact, are these sages, these prophets, these wise people, right? So it's like, they didn't come in vain. It's like, okay, well, people do dirt, and then now we're gonna say, because Christians do dirt, that don't mean I have to reject Jesus and his teachings. You do have to scrutinize to find out, like, okay, what did Jesus really teach, right? But you don't have to, like Jesus himself, when you read, like when you get down to the core of who he is, you find that, okay, well, dang, man, he was a deep person. Because I'm saying all this because KRS, he's right on with understanding the knowledge of self, right? The knowledge of self is everything. But they try to create the temple of hip hop, and like, come on, bro, like what I'm saying is, I don't think the answer is creating a new religion. I think the answer is rethinking and scrutinizing and sifting through the lies that's been told. And if you have if you have a good heart, if you have the right type of heart, and you do your due diligence, then you can arrive at like the truth. And that's the truth with the capital T. There is a universal truth. Like we all have to leave. We all have a mother and a father. We all are born. We all have to leave this world. That's across the board. That's not your truth or my truth. That's the other thing, right? So a lot of people, like, a lot of this, oh, your truth, my truth, or I'm spiritual, not religious. All of this stuff is trying to like, I understand where it comes from, but I think a lot of times it's an attempt to escape reality and escape the truth, man. Like the truth, like it is what it is, bro. There is a truth. Like, it's not like, oh, your truth and my truth. Like, no, like it's actually like just, we all have our own individual experiences, which that is true. But the sun rises from the east, it sets in the west. That's across the board, bro. Plants, a tree is a plant. That's universal truth. A woman is, only a woman can have a baby. That's universal truth, bro. Stuff like that, dude. So it's like, yeah. But I say all that to say that knowledge of self is greater than biology, or greater than philosophy, or greater than, chemistry or mathematics, because all of that is included. All of that is included in the knowledge of self. And the self is undefined. And the self is undefined, meaning it's unlimited. It has no limit. Oh yeah. And this, so there's another idea of the microcosm and the macrocosm, right? So a cosm is related to a word like cosmos. It means world, and I'm in Greek. And micro means small, so small world, and macrocosm means the larger world. So the microcosm is the human being. It's us, yourself, your soul. And the macrocosm is the universe. And they're mirror images of each other. So it's like, there's nothing that's inside the universe that's not inside of every human being. Like, think about it. The earth is 70% water, 30% solid, right? 30% earth. Human beings, we're 70% liquid, 30% solid. And it's so many different things. Like it's so many different, like even like the way that we're proportioned, like our bodies, right? Like there's symmetry and proportion in the Phi and the Fibonacci sequence. If the reason why Michelangelo and all the Renaissance painters and artists were so profound is because they understood like that our forearm is the same length as our foot, and it's the way that like it's more, and I can't even think about it right now, but the more you dive into this and discover the mysteries of creation, you realize that everything that's outside of you is inside of you. And if you change, that's why the truth, the law of change is that you have to change what's inside first, and then outside changes afterwards. Your mind and your thoughts and your beliefs and your internal speech change, and then your outside reality changes. So with that said, I'm a peace out. Thank y'all for listening.